created your Circle account, go ahead in the navigation bar and head to this gear icon, which is your settings icon. Click on that, and we are going to walk through the different settings that you can turn on and off depending on how you want to set up and run your community. So starting with general, you can change your community name if it's something different than what you signed up with. You can set your community URL or set up your custom domain. And here is where you toggle to make your community private. So once you toggle this on, you can set up your custom member sign up link. I'll dive into this in another tutorial. Then under branding is where you can customize the look and feel of your community to match your brand. So here you can set your brand color. And then upload a logo. And an icon. And then set your reply to email if it needs to be something different for notifications. Under defaults, you can enable a community switcher, which means that if your members are members of multiple Circle communities, they will be able to toggle between those different communities from a navigation bar on the left-hand side of the web page. There's lots of reasons to leave it off or turn it on, but as a user experience, it does make it easier to navigate different communities. And then these two buttons are based on the Circle app. So if you want people to access your community using Circle's app, leave it on. Likewise, if you want to show the app download banner in iOS browsers. Now, with these default page drop downs, you can set the default page for new members. So if you have a welcome space where you have an introduction page, you could set that to be the first thing people see when they sign into your community for the first time. And then you can set the default page for existing members. Maybe you have a space called Member Lounge. You can set that space here so that existing members logging in can skip the introduction part. And then of course your default page for logged out visitors. So once you've set this all up, you can save your changes and we'll go to onboarding. Here you can customize the invitations for people if they do or don't already have a Circle account and what happens after they sign up for an account. So if you toggle this on, you can see that you have the email here and you can customize this again to your voice and your branding. Under custom domain is where you would set up your custom domain for your community if you don't want to use the, for example, unicorns.circle.so, you can change that here. Code snippets is where you can add a little bit more customization to your community to match the look and feel of your website. Member tags is where you could label people as a pro member and set an icon and a color, and then you can select where that information shows up. At this time, you can't set it to where only certain people can see those tags. So whatever you set up, anyone in the community will be able to see. And then you can select the members you want to tag with that tag. Then under Weekly Digest, Circle sends out a summary of popular topics and comments from spaces they are a member of. So it's automatically turned off, but if you want this functionality, you can turn it on and then you can customize this a little bit. But if you have your own newsletter that you're sending out, maybe it's best to keep it off. Then on the Home tab, you can enable a home feed for your members. So you can set the threshold of how many trending topics you see, and then you can default topic sort by latest, oldest, popular, most likes, new activity, or alphabetical. If you turn this on, then you just need to set in those defaults again for the pages people land on if they are an existing member or a new member. So maybe you want existing members to see the home feed, whereas you still want the new members to see the welcome page. And then you can add a welcome banner, title, and message for that home feed if you want. Once you set this up, click Save Changes, and we'll head to Embed. Embed is where you can get code to embed either the community widget, which looks like this, except when you click on it, it will open up your community, or you can embed a topic or a certain space. Keep in mind though, if you want to embed the comment section of a topic, you do need to use the topic widget. Next, moving on to moderation, this is where you can approve and reject moderation flags. So here's where you set up single sign-on. So when you set it up, you would toggle this on, and you can choose whether or not you want to allow people that already have a Circle account to sign in. I would keep this toggled on until you are done setting up your single sign-on integration. So you can change the button label of how people sign up. You can set up the URL that allows people to sign up. And then under OAuth provider is where you would pick the tool you want to use for SSO. We'll dive into this in another tutorial. So let's go ahead and toggle this off for now and click Save Changes. For direct messaging, here is where you can either allow or deactivate direct messaging between members. Members can choose from their member settings whether or not they want to allow direct messages. And then in billing, you can manage your plan and the card that you're charging. And then under account, this is where it's personalized to the specific account that I'm using. So I'm going to replace this with a profile photo. You can set your display name, your headline, a bio, your location, and whether or not you want to make your email publicly visible, and then set up all of your different social links. And then here is where you can toggle on if you want to prevent members from being able to message you. So save those changes. And heading back into settings, you can go to notifications where you can set how you get notified about things via email or within the app. Authentication is where you can deal with your email and passwords and connect different accounts. And then lastly, your API, where you can create an API token for things like Zapier. So that's an overview of the settings of getting your Circle account and community set up. If you have any questions, of course, always reach out. Thanks for watching.